Yeah, congratulations on directing and adapting a very powerful narrative into this new film we're talking about. Obviously, parenting as a parent and as a grandparent, there are things I gravitated to as well. My programming is not ready for parenting. But another great part of this story to me was rising above our instinct and our breed to create a better community and just be civil with each other despite our differences. What was your launching part when you first heard of the story and started adapting it? Was there one of those elements that leapt off the page a little bit more than another?
Yeah, all those, I think, more complex interactions and character relationships that were there in the book are the kind of thing that I really gravitate towards. It's the kind of stuff that I like to write and work on. So yeah, so all the above, absolutely.
We've seen animal and animal in animation, we've seen human and animal. Talk about directing and bringing to life the robot and animal interactions.
This kind of animation is not the kind of thing that you always get to do, and it was just an absolute lucky break, I think, for all of us. We were all big fans of like Bambi, and I worked on Lion King, and the animals being animals. That's something that we really, really had fun with, and the animators absolutely took to. Usually our animals are driving cars or or wearing clothes and things like that. And I love those. I love those. But this is different. What I would describe is there's a purity to it that is really, really engaging, and I think we as humans really relate to it in a very particular way. And then with the robot Roz, we deliberately gave her design one particular limitation. In Peter Brown's illustrations, there's a little, very simple line, an indication of a mouth. And I was very insistent that we have no mouth on Roz. The only real articulation is in her very, very complex lenses, her eyes. Otherwise, I wanted everything to be coming from her voice and from the pantomime movement. We gave the robot a lot of articulation so that she's fully functional as far as motion, but also she does things that a regular person can't do. And those things are always very fun to watch. And the animators did such a good job. They always surprised me. And they did a lot of homework. They looked at a lot of old films, Buster Keaton films, Charlie Chaplin films, just the timing and the movement and the attitude that came out of that. They really tried to, like, I think, learn from that and emulate that.
It was a spectacular job. As you had some distance from the film now, what was one of the main things that you took away from it and that you hope audiences take away as well? Maybe something that surprised you that has stuck with you after you've kind of moved on and the film is wrapped?
I think the idea that kindness can be a survival skill, that's something that Peter Brown revealed to us in our very first conversation. We had a Zoom call, and that was one of the very first things he told us that was on his mind as he wrote the book. And we wanted to memorialize that on the page and on the screen. And it's something that Fink the Fox, voiced by Pedro Pascal, says to Roz at one point. He says, look, you gotta learn how things work on this island, and kindness is not a survival skill. And he's absolutely right. But again, through Roz's unrelenting kindness, she unintentionally begins, I should say, to change the culture of the island. And that's a really beautiful thing. And it's, ever since working on this, I try to like tell myself every morning, like, do your best, do your best. And yeah, I think it's worthwhile.
Absolutely. Well, again, you've brought us another fabulous film. We wish you the best with it and appreciate your time today.